Hi everybody, this is Liam Martin from Running Remote, and today I'm going to talk about something that I wanted to talk about actually for quite a long while right now, is my thoughts on the rise of remote first unicorns. Let's go. So remote has been one of those things that it's just 2020 has been whirlwind. It looks like 2021 is going to be pretty crazy as well. We've got this Rona thing happening. We've got the rise of remote work, which has gone from 4% of the US workforce to like 45% of the US workforce very quickly. And we're at a point now where we're seeing truly the rise of what I'm going to define as remote first unicorns. Which is companies that are entirely structured remotely that end up having a $1 billion valuation just this week. And this video may come out quite a bit later, but anyways, it doesn't really matter. We had two amazing things happen in the remote work world. We had Andrew, the CEO of Wrike, sell his company for $2.2 billion. Yes, $1 billion to Citrix. And we had Wade, who is the CEO and founder of Zapier. He just took a round of financing. I think effectively he probably took money off the table at a $4 billion valuation. Both remote first companies. And I wanted to talk about this because I think that we're seeing a trend that will completely change the way that tech companies are built over the next few years. I run a conference called Running Remote. I also am the co-founder of one or two SaaS businesses that are also remote first, but we have 43 different countries in which we have employees inside of, and we have about 150 people inside of those groups. So we've been doing this for a very long time. I personally have been working remotely for the last 15 years, and this has just sort of been like, the absolute wildest dreams type of situation for remote work when it comes to the proliferation of the message that I've been trying to tell people, which is remote is a better way to build a business. It's not just a way to have more freedom and flexibility inside of your business and yet not grow the business faster. So this is something that has really been a core messaging that I've been trying to hammer into everybody for almost 15 years. And now, with the unfortunate events of COVID, we have seen the proliferation of that particular business model. At scale, remote work on average is 30% more cost effective than an on-premise model. When you remove the need for an office, obviously, when you remove just the HR oversight, when you remove the requirements to even heat that office or provide Wi-Fi or, desks and really high-end computers and all this kind of stuff, the costs keep going down. And people are quite literally building billion-dollar companies out of their bedrooms. Right back there, that's my shower. I literally work from home every single day. I worked from home for almost 15 years, just like this. And we have an incredibly successful business. This is the way to be able to run it. That leads me to my second point, which is the mindset that you should really be focused on is a talent first, geography second perspective. So the way that we set up a job spec is we say, hey, there's a candidate and we want this candidate. The salary is set at $50,000 as an example. Well, we don't just look at Canada or the United States or Europe. We look everywhere on planet Earth. And a lot of the times we end up hiring talent that's actually way better in a different country for that price point. So just because they work in Kiev or they work in Southeast Asia or they work in the Middle East or they work in Africa somewhere does not necessarily mean that they are not as good at their job as someone who's located in New York and San Francisco. And the world is starting to recognize this in a very exciting and meaningful way, which means not only do we actually build better and faster and more cost-efficient companies, but more importantly, we're distributing talent all over the world. The talent is actually staying there. Funny fact is companies, and someone else told me this statistic, I have yet to actually confirm it, but I'm going to just repurpose it here. If it's not right, tell me down in the comments down below. 53% of employees inside of a company in the Valley that have more than 1,000 employees are first generation immigrants. They were brought to San Francisco in order to actually work in that particular position. So that's an incredibly exciting concept to be able to have that talent stay where they are, have a better community involvement, send those dollars back to those individual people, and just create a much more egalitarian world where my personal philosophy is that remote work really allows employers and employees to find the best of each other, and they won't have to go to San Francisco and pay $8,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. The best talent in the world is now going to expect remote work agreements literally as table stakes, okay? That's something that not many people recognize right now, but 2021 and 2022 are going to be those years where anyone, and I'm talking anyone who's paid, let's say, over $100,000 a year, if they don't have the option to be able to work remotely inside of their job, they will not take that job because there are so many other employers that are going to give them that perk. And I'm not even really defining this as a perk. It's more like, as important as like getting an office chair when you're inside of your cubicle. Everyone is going to expect that. No one writes down, I need a desk, I need a cubicle when they join a job. It's just one of those things that you get. And remote work is going to become one of those things in 2021, 22, and 23. It's totally, I absolutely see it. It's something that I don't think a lot of employers are really recognizing at this point because a lot of them are thinking that they're going to go back to the office through a hybrid agreement. Hybrid is basically when you have remote employees and in-person employees. And to a degree, that's probably going to exist. But the people that are paid a lot, they're going to be able to dictate their own terms because they always have been able to dictate their own terms in the past. It's just this is a new thing that they've been given due to the pandemic that they're going to fight very hard to be able to keep. And to my other point that I mentioned before, hiring talent globally is way more cost effective at scale than just in the US. Facebook, as an example, is stating that half of their talent pool will be remote by next year, and they've implemented very serious international HR campaigns because they used to actually have all those people come to the Valley. Now it's going to completely change. They're going to be located where they actually were from, and it's going to completely change the game in terms of accelerating the speed at which you can build a company. So I say all this to actually just sort of put my opinion down in video ink. 2022 will probably be the year you see more remote first unicorns than on-premise unicorns. I know people are probably saying that that's impossible and there's no way that that will happen. Well, that's what I'm putting down on video pen and ink. So disagree with me, agree with me, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspectives on whether you think that remote is the future for very large tech companies. And if you have any other thoughts, put them down there too. I'm very happy to get yelled at if you think I'm full of shit. I've been told that I'm not supposed to swear on YouTube, even though I do a lot in person. And while you're down there too, subscribe to this YouTube channel twice, please. No, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, and watch a couple of the other videos. It really helps out the algorithm. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Later.